Rhys it is, and it's people like me who made Maesteg what it is today. We were the pioneers on the Dyffryn, Llinvi and Porthcawl Railway, a tram road with the trams pulled by horses. The most important development in the history of the town, in my opinion. Mind you, they were slow enough on the uptake here. There was all this iron ore in the ground and nobody using it. In Merthyr, they'd been producing iron since 1760 and eventually had the biggest ironworks in the world when we'd barely started. When ironmaking did catch on here and they started thinking about getting the iron out to the world, it was people like me that made it happen. Well, the history books may tell you about the rich investors who put their money in to start the railway and the ironworks. But if it hadn't been for hauliers like me, prepared to take a chance, buying our own horses and wagons, the whole thing just wouldn't have taken off. First off, we were picking up from the Maesteg ironworks by South Parade, which failed in 1847 but went on operating off and on into the 1870s. There isn't much of the old works left now, but we still have the cast iron bridge made there in 1835 over the river at the bottom of Treharn Row here in Maesteg. In 1839, the Llinvi ironworks opened. Its old engine house is now used as a sports hall, and parts of the blast furnaces are still there. Later, there were two other ironworks at Garth and Cwmdu. The haulier had a difficult job. For one thing, there was only one line with passing places along it. So if you met another haulier coming the other way, there could be trouble. If you couldn't agree then which one went forward first, you would put your sprag boy to fight with his sprag boy. Oh, we call them sprag boys because their job was to put a piece of wood called a sprag into the spokes of the wheel to slow the tram down. There were also loads of rules about what you could and couldn't do on the track, and places where you had to get your loads weighed and pay tolls. It was long days too. In the summer, the line was open from 4 in the morning till 9 at night. On your way back home, you could call in at one or maybe more of the taverns along the route. Things began to change in 1847 on the railway when the Llinvi Valley Railway, a new company, came in. The beginning of the end it was for people like me, because all they thought about planning was a steam railway. Mind you, they've been long enough about it. Only a couple of years ago, in 1858, they started building it. But you watch, in a year or two, there'll be nothing but steam trains. I shall have to retire, I suppose. And the horses, well, they'll go back to the fields, I expect. Some of my family will go on working on the new line. If you go on along the line, you may well meet some of them.